Hello YouTube, this is Sibbles and Bits back here again. Finally here with that video that I promised a while back, looking into most of the medical interactions as of the February patch. Some of them I couldn't quite get to due to the fact that I'm mostly by myself, and some of them require teams to check. That would include whether or not rousing speech, life insurance have been fixed, and if the healing efficiency from medical experts actually stacks on team, because other team effects such as rousing speech and life insurance do not stack, or at least they didn't before the patch. So if you are checking after February 18th, go ahead and check the description. I should be able to update it down there once I'm actually able to test that with a couple of people. Otherwise, we're going to be here talking about all the other medical cards, mainly going into what's scaling with healing efficiency, what's working with Doc's talent. I already made a video earlier about Doc's talent and the cards that are interacting with it, but I did make a couple of errors in there. For the most part, the information is solid, but I'll just go over everything again here so that you can have the more accurate information without having to pick apart what I screwed up on in there and what I didn't. Before we get into the video, we'd just like to say, if you find the video helpful, be sure to give it a like, or even at least just share it amongst your squad and friends. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. I try to keep most of my information objective, so if you do want my opinion on certain things, you can go ahead and ask them below. First off, everything in the game that currently scales with healing efficiency. Right now, you can get a total of 90% healing efficiency, which is 15% from medical expert, 25% from antibiotic ointment, and 50% from EMT bag. Again, we don't know if multiple copies of medical expert actually stack on team for an additional 15% each. And we also have Doc with her innate 20% healing efficiency. Other characters can get up to 90% healing efficiency. Doc can get up to 110. Group therapy now correctly scales with healing efficiency. Before the patch, would scale with healing efficiency, but only the healing efficiency of the target. So in order to actually benefit from that, you would only be able to heal yourself, and that made it honestly very limiting. But now, regardless of who you're healing, you're going to multiply your healing efficiency into group therapy. Adolescence now works with healing efficiency, and everything seems to work just fine. And while they don't necessarily have effects of their own, healing efficiency will boost the effect of your medical items, and as such, it will also boost the bonus of Charitable Soul and Miraculous Recovery. Other things that scale with healing efficiency, Doc's field dressings, bandages themselves, med kits, revives, and defibrillators. Also, pills scale with healing efficiency, and as Swing Point was able to find out last patch when they made it so that healing efficiency applied to pain pills, Doc and Medical Expert are in a separate multiplicative bin from other sources of healing efficiency, and that is still the case, which also makes it somewhat important to find out if Medical Expert does stack. Otherwise, all these other sources that I've listed here will scale perfectly normal. The only cases where there's a multiplicative bin is in the event of pain pills. Otherwise, I mentioned revives earlier. Revives heal for 50% of the target's current maximum health. It's your maximum health minus the trauma that you've accrued, and you'll heal for 50%. That 50% itself will get multiplied by your healing efficiency. So if you have the total of 90%, that person will get healed for 95% of their current health. Defibrillators work the exact same way, where they will start at 40%, 60%, 80%, and if they're purple tier, they heal for 100. Should also state that Medical Expert and Field Surgeon also technically scale with healing efficiency, but not the trauma portion. When they heal the trauma, 1 in the event of Medical Expert, 3 in the event of Field Surgeon, they are also giving you a health heal of 1 and 3 respectively in order to make it so that you have the same health pool. It's not giving you red health, it's giving you white and red health so that you're at the same amount of your health bar. But since that is a heal, it is scaled by healing efficiency. So if you have Medical Expert and Field Surgeon and you use a medical item on a person and you have all the healing efficiency, you will heal them for 8.2 and heal that 4 trauma. So there's a number of cards that say that they heal, but they don't actually scale with healing efficiency. This includes both revive cards, Combat Medic and Pep Talk. As we described before, healing efficiency will increase the amount of healing that you get while you revive somebody, but all Pep Talk and Combat Medic do is add 10, flat 20 health on top of that final value, and that is not scaled by healing efficiency. Ignore the Pain says that it heals you for 1 health, same with Wounded Animal, but these both are not scaled by healing efficiency. There is some wonky stuff that I found out about Ignore the Pain. For one, if you hit armored specials in the armor, which your bash has a very large hitbox, so it's easier with that, you will not get the health and stamina recovery because you're not technically hitting the special. Second, if you hit a mutation in its weak spot, you will actually get twice the effects of the card, so you will get 2 HP and 6 stamina. This is probably due to how the game partitions both body and weak spot damage. It also led me to originally think that healing efficiency was working on Ignore the Pain, but that's not the case. Safe Room Recovery says that it heals your team 15 health. This will not be increased by healing efficiency. Technically, you could add fresh bandages in here, but again, it full heals you, so it doesn't matter if it doesn't get scaled or not. Experienced EMT. I mentioned earlier that Field Surgeon and Medical Expert, when they heal trauma, they also heal an equivalent amount of health. Experienced EMT looks like it heals trauma, but it doesn't. So it does not scale with healing efficiency. It simply gives you a maximum health of 10% of your maximum health. Then it also increases your current health and your current max health by an equivalent amount. But none of that is considered a heal. While I'm in here, other things that heal that don't scale with healing efficiency, the shop heal. I'll go into more detail in another video about health recovery, but the shop heal will always heal you for 50% of your true max HP. That is the amount of HP you would have if you had absolutely no trauma. And that is not scaled with healing efficiency. Same thing with FACs or first aid cabinets. They heal 60 health regardless of how much healing efficiency you have. Items that interact with medical accessory cards are important because any card that interacts with medical accessories is technically also interacting with Doc's talent because her field dressings are considered medical accessories in any way that matters. That means that it will cure trauma with Field Surgeon and Medical Expert. It will apply the heal over time of Poultice. It will proc group therapy. It will enable experienced EMT. It will give you antibiotic ointment. It can benefit from miraculous recovery, and you will heal for 50% of the healing that you deal with it. And also, for those of you who are wondering, defibrillators are still medical accessories, but because the effect of a defibrillator is the fact that it revives a teammate, not necessarily that it heals them for the amount, Charitable Soul and Miraculous Recovery will not apply to defibrillators. Now, there's a bunch of other cards that don't scale with healing efficiency either, and it's very easy to classify them because they are cards that provide temporary HP, trauma, and healing over time. Basically, in a discussion with the developer, I asked them like what was and was not supposed to be scaled with healing efficiency back when I found the healing efficiency bug in November. And in my description to them, I told them that it was on my understanding that anything that provides temporary health, trauma heal, or anything that heals but on a buff over time is not supposed to be included and stuff that scales with healing efficiency, and they confirmed that yes, that's pretty much how it's supposed to work. As such, Fire in the Hole, Vanguard, Amped Up, Pyro, Face Your Fears, Overwatch, Buckshot Bruiser all provide temporary HP, therefore they do not scale with healing efficiency. Inspiring Sacrifice, Poultice, True Grit, because these are heals, but they're heals over time. You're not healing the target, the buff is healing the target. Also, Fresh Bandages, Medical Professional, Field Surgeon, and Medical Expert cannot scale their trauma heal using healing efficiency. So again, as I stated before, I have not been able to test cards that were previously not working properly as of the December patch because I haven't been able to get a squad together to test it. Before this patch, Rousing Speech's reduced in-cap trauma says that it is, it even says right there, is shared and applies to you and your teammates. That is correct. However, this does not stack if you have multiple on the team, and it removes your offensive accessories, so you probably didn't try to do that anyways. Life insurance says the same thing, that it is shared amongst you and your teammates. However, we found out that it actually does not reduce team in-cap trauma, it only applies to you, therefore it also does not stack on team. Inspiring Sacrifice and Avenge the Fallen. A lot of people thought that it was being set off randomly, but the fact of the matter is that it actually wasn't being set off randomly at all. Basically how these worked is that for every copy of Inspiring Sacrifice and or Avenge the Fallen that you have on team, you have to be downed that many times in order for it to activate all the cards. Basically, think of it this way. Everybody has a charge. Whenever they get downed, they'll spend that charge and you'll get the effect of every copy of Inspiring Sacrifice and Avenge the Fallen that is on the team. However, that person's charge is now spent, and in order to get that charge again, they have to go down an amount of times equal to the amount of cards on your team. So if you only have one Inspiring Sacrifice, it's going to work every single time. If you have two Inspiring Sacrifices, you can down Jim, he'll set it off. Down Jim again, he won't set it off because he doesn't have his charge yet. But the next time you down him, because you have two copies, he's going to set off that charge again. So before, Avenge the Fallen didn't really have a cap. You just had to make sure that you had enough charges to keep it going. If you had 4 copies on team, 3 of your teammates went down. If you would have had the 4th person go down, you lose the game. But 3 people go down, each of them would set off 4 stacks of the buff because you had 4 stacks of Avenge the Fallen. So you'd have 12 times all of these effects here. Inspiring Sacrifice had a max cap of 4. So if you had 4 copies, one person goes down, you had to wait the entire 15 seconds in order to have someone else go down and get the full effect again. Otherwise, that charge was wasted. And I almost forgot, antibiotic ointments 10 temporary health whenever you use a medical accessory will only apply to each target once a map. So it'll proc the first time, but it will not proc any subsequent times that you heal them, even if it's with a different medical accessory. Anyways, that's about all the current interactions for medical cards with this patch. Again, if you found the information helpful, consider giving it a like, sharing it with your friends, your squad, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the comments below. Again, if you are watching this after February 18th, go ahead and check that description. I should have details on whether or not the healing efficiency from medical expert stacks, life insurance is fixed, rousing speech is fixed. If I find out any other notable things, I'll be sure to throw them down into the description as well. So if you check back even later than that, you might find something. Anyways, thank you very much, and until next time.